Gary, 2-2 here at Steel Park this afternoon. Haven't had a game at Steel Park in a month. It's great to be back. Started a brilliant sunshine. But twice at the end of the first half, the end of the second half, scrapping around for goals, and it comes good with a penalty in I don't know, 96 minutes or so. A result, the run continues, and you've got to take the country with the Smiths sometime.
Yes, listen, the last 48 hours, you sometimes wonder why you do it, honestly. Yeah. Yesterday, sort of 11, 12 o'clock, I'm scrambling around for a goalkeeper. Obviously, Dan's not fit, Thomas is away. We ain't got a goalkeeper. I've then rung Sam Gorgon at Peterborough, see if they've got a goalkeeper. They ain't got one, but in the conversation, they then let me know that they're taking Harry Thomas back this weekend. And I'm just, that's just thinking that I've rung Ben Whiting up. He's at a funeral in Cornwall. And I've sort of begged him if he'll come back. And he sort of couldn't at first, but then he's texted me saying, look, if you're struggling, I'll drive back. He's now got to drive back to Cornwall because that's where his family's from. So you've got to give that lad a huge amount of credit. And, I'll go on camera, thank him very much for coming in and helping us. And, he's not done himself any harm today. I thought he played well, kicked well, come and got some crosses and, had a decent performance. And then on today, just without away from the football, Slinny's opened his knee up. DS has got to go for an X-ray on his foot. And at the same time, DS went down. We used all the subs. Joe Butterworth pulled his groin. So we played the last 20 minutes with 10 men, maybe 25 minutes, which some of my players didn't even know in the dressing room. That's how much attention we pay. So a lot of people in the ground probably didn't even know we was playing with 10. But going back to the game, we're just not as fluent at home as we are away. And, we're working on it. And obviously opposition set up a bit different here than what they do when they got to come on to us at home. And we've got to find a way. That's as simple as that. Because for me, I think the draw was probably a fair result in the end with the goal we got. But we're throwing too many points away and we want to be in the top. Our away form is outstanding. We're the top scorers in the league. We've scored more than anyone else. We think we've got 30 now. I think us and Loughborough before today are the top scorers in the league. And we're just throwing too many points away at home, Chuck. And that's a concern. But what's not a concern is the effort and the endeavour the players have turned the corner. Since Sep shed away, although we lost the game, there was unbelievable chance, unbelievable effort. We took it into Castle, we took it into Spalding, and we definitely took it into the second half today, especially when we went behind twice. So that's really pleasing. But we're just 3 points from 18 at home ain't good enough.
Does it worry you also the amount of chances you create? I mean, obviously, it's good because you're creating chances, but you're not putting them away because it could have been 3-0 in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, but there has been periods this year, early on, Coleshill at home, Shepshed at home, where we weren't creating chances and we was a bit raggy and we looked terrible. And I'd much rather be where we are now, creating the chances and missing the chances than... Because these boys are all score goals. Connor Tomlinson is an outstanding goal scorer. I mean, the one he's gone through one-on-one, that's bobbled up, and I think that's ended up going out for a throw-in. You can't legislate for that. Dylan Edge I've had him since he was 16. And he never left the club. He just didn't have a good pre-season. And I sent him to Rushden, where I knew he'd play 90 minutes at Step 4. And he's gone there and he's played really well and he's come back. And I thought today's second half, he looked a bit of a handful. And Toby as well, he's, we ain't got to worry about scoring goals. And, we score goals. Danny Gordon, he just scores all the time, don't he? So goals isn't a problem. But, stopping goals is a problem. And I don't know how many times I have to come out here and say it, but I can't remember the last time our goalkeeper had a game like their goalkeeper today, where he's had to make save after save after save because we're getting dominated. I think they've had 3-4 shots today. Although they look really lively on the break, when the other teams ain't working our goalkeepers and we're working theirs all the time. So I've got to take the positives from that. But the negatives today is the growing injury list, which is whether we've put a lot into Saturday, a lot into Tuesday. They've done a bit on Thursday. And then whether that's too much day, we've got obviously the game at Kettering on Tuesday night. I need that like a hole in the head, if I'm being honest. And we'll have to pick the team if we've got 11. Obviously, we've got the younger lads signed on, but obviously, that's a game we want to try and go and get a result in. But
well, that's a huge different talking point, the Kettering game, because of the way they've sold tickets, the price they've put on the tickets. It isn't particularly conducive to the fact ultimately it's just an NFA game. It's Northampton Football Association game, and some of our fans will probably not turn up.
Well,
does that worry you, or do you think, well, I'm going to treat it like a game of football, or just treat it like maybe a training game for the younger players?
Well, we'll have to assess it. Obviously, I can't get involved in the politics, but it just seemed bizarre to me. I'm not a businessman and I'm not a football club owner, but why? Why not make it £7 and get 200 Corby fans down there and make yourself a load of money? Because obviously they'll spend money while they're in the ground as well, because they like to have a drink, they like to make a bit of noise. And let me tell you, the last 20 minutes, and obviously as a manager, you have a bit of a sort of, not a love-hate relationship, but I thought our supporters today were absolutely magnificent. Especially second half when, we're throwing bodies forward and we're making a few tackles, and we was winning throw-ins and they was beating the drum, and I think they dragged us forward today. I think they really did drag us forward. That's the difference between when they get on your backs and when they drag you forward. I think they in that end second half, I think they really dragged the team forward today. And if I was their manager, I'd be really disappointed with that penalty. But we've had a lot of things go against us this year, I felt. But I'd have been disappointed. I mean, Cam's a great lad as well, their gaffer, and I'd be really disappointed if...
But if you're a defender, you can't jump up with your hands up if you're in a
No, and Danny Gordon's adamant that's hit his hands, but the lad has he's got blood on his face, so whether his hand has hit his fat, I don't know, but I'm sort of too far away. But, if you're 90th minute and they shouldn't give a free kick away to say, no, Danny Gordon's got a chance of hitting the target anyway, but, they'll be really disappointed with that. But I think probably a draw... I felt that we probably had the better goal manufacturing, but they was down on the bake. Probably a draw when we all sit down and go home and think about it. Probably a draw was a fair result.
But it keeps you 3 games now unbeaten.
Yeah.
2 great results.
Yeah.
A good, strong performance this afternoon.
Yeah.
A game on Tuesday that I feel as if I can't comment on because it's only the Hillier Cup.
Yeah.
And then away next Saturday.
Yeah,
where you return to possibly, a performance which the team are going to be proud in.
I hope so. And like I say, if we even had average home form, not poor home form, if we had average home form, we'd be in the top 2 or 3, wouldn't we? That's as simple as that. 18 points, I made the mistake of saying this was going to be a fortress this year. But even if you had 10 points from your 6 home games, which is probably a standard for a team, we'd be 7 points better off. We'd be right in the mix. So there's a lot of positives, and we all knew, the players, that going into the Cowser, Spalding, Sutton, Coldfield game, that we was under the cosh, because if we did come out with 1-2 points, then we'd probably be in the bottom 4 or 5, and that's when people really do turn on you and get restless. But the lads who come away and support us have seen the good side of us, and we're getting a bit of credit for that probably. But all I want from the players is maximum effort, and I felt that in the main, they give that today, and that's probably what got us the big point.
Time to regroup. Let's go again Tuesday.
Time to sign 1 or 2 players probably. But that's difficult, That's, like I said last week, I ain't never ever stopped trying to bring players in this season. Because we've had a lot of injuries, we've had a bit of ill form as well. So I've constantly been table, been putting 7 days. We just can't seem to get anyone across the line. And what we won't do is, we ain't going to pay £10 for a £4 player, so to speak. So we just ain't doing that. So what we've got to do is we've got to keep working hard, keep trying to find 1 or 2 players who can come in and make the squad better, and just keep doing what we're doing away from home, and hopefully we can start. There's no doubt about it that we're gonna win a game at home sometime soon, hopefully, and hopefully once we do that, hopefully we can get a little run of results going at home, and continue, which will be hard, obviously, the solid away form that we've done.
Gary, appreciate your time.
Thank you. Cheers.